Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing which William Ruto will live to regret, if there's one thing William Ruto will write a book about after exiting politics, then it is the story of the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs almost staged a successful coup against William Ruto's government. The Gen Zs successfully occupied parliament. The Gen Zs forced William Ruto to dissolve his cabinet. They forced William Ruto to look for Raila Odinga for support. The Gen Zs forced William Ruto to impeach his deputy, Rigathi Gachagua. So the story of the Gen Zs is a story which William Ruto will tell for the future generation. For those who follow the politics of the Republic of Kenya, there has been the story of abductions. And one of the questions which Kenyans have been asking themselves is, who is abducting young Kenyans? The truth of the matter is that these young Kenyans are not abducting themselves. And the truth of the matter is that there is no way these abductions can take place without the government's knowledge. Which means the government is fully aware of the operations around the abductions. So Kenyans have been making noise. On Monday, which was 6th, 5 Kenyans who had been abducted were released from different parts of the country. There was Billy Mwangi, only 24 years. There was Kibet, the cartoonist. Then there was Peter Muteti, only 22 years. Then there was Bernard Kavuli and Ronnie Kiplagat. All of them, they are early 20s. Why would the government abduct the young generation like that? Because for a very long time, there was this notion in the Republic of Kenya that the young generation or the young people were not politically aware. But after they staged successful anti-finance bill protest, Kenyans realized that these young people were politically aware.
Where is Bernard Kavuli? Where is Billy Mwangi? Where is Peter Muteti? Where is Kibet and all other comrades that you have abducted? We want you to release them. We want you to release them in the shortest time possible. We are not scared of you. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me.
I've been trying to study the reaction of Kenyans towards these abductions. And I'm coming to one conclusion, that if there's one thing which will send William Ruto home in 2027, it is this abduction of young Kenyans. Because there's no way William Ruto will escape the blame for these particular abductions.
Friday, we were very happy. The president said these abductions will be curtailed. Na tukafurahi sana jamaa atarudi. Na mpaka saa hii hatujamuona. So we are still in darkness. We are appealing to anybody yule ambaye anaweza kuwa na huyo mtoto. Because I know that guy is not a criminal. Whatever he has done, wamwachilie. And I'm going to say again, na my wife alisema, we are taking responsibility for anything which that guy could have done.
And these abductions, the face of it now, are 2 gentlemen. Previously, there was my friend Bob Njagi, and the rest were also abducted before. But the latest wave of young people, the face now is Billy Mwangi from Embu and Kibet Bull. Why are they the face of these new abductions?
Na mambo ya kusemekana ati kuna Mkenya amepotea. Hakuna Mkenya wa kupotea tena. Kama kuna mhalifu lazima apelekwe kotini. lakini mambo ya extrajudicial killing, ati mtu anapotea, watoto wanapotea, wazee wanapotea, hiyo mambo tutakomesha na tuhakikisha ya kwamba lazima kila mtu apitishwe kutoka kwa sheria ndio apelekwe kotini. Hakuna mwananchi atapotea kiholela. Sijui kama tunaelewana.
Let me go to Billy Mwangi first. Billy Mwangi is just a young man based in Embu. As usual, he came across AI generated photo of the president on a coffin or in a coffin. He shared it on his Twitter. What followed was very interesting. He was followed. So the guy left their home to go have some haircut. Once he arrived there, while the barber was busy, some men in some probox with masks came and picked him. That was before Christmas. So the guy spent his days, Christmas and New Year, in the hands of his abductors. And why am I saying that Billy Mwangi has taken the face of the new face of abductions? The residents of Embu staged serious protests demanding for his release. Probably he was released as a result of those demands.
Sawa sawa, wacha nitulie hapa. Wanakaramayo wenyewe, tumeambia polisi wasiharibu mkutano na tukimisbehave wa deal na sisi vilivyo, lakini kwa sababu ni maombi tunaomba, waturuhusu tuombe. Uko tayari kuomba? Wakati wanasema tuombe kwa sababu ya kumata Billy Mwangi. Walituomba kwa heshima, wakatuambia tusifanye demonstrations, wanaendelea kufanya uchunguzi.
The case of Billy Mwangi is also similar to Peter Muteti. He also shared those AI generated images. He was picked up. Again, he was released yesterday. But the case of Kibet Bull is a bit different. Kibet Bull is a cartoonist who was just drawing stuffs, and whatever he was coming up with was depicting the situation in the Republic of Kenya as we speak. So they were going viral. Illustration of art. You can't say that whatever he was drawing was unethical, no? But someone somewhere decided that enough was enough because he was communicating through those cartoons. And those cartoons were going viral every day. They were making William Ruto very unpopular. He was abducted. I think according to sources, when he had gone to see Okia Mtata. Previously, I assumed he was out of the country. Maybe he came back, but he was abducted. None other than Oscar Sudi was very clear that if William Ruto had appointed him as the cabinet secretary for interior, people like Kibet would not be there.
Kwa sababu ile maneno iko mtandao siku hizi ukiona, halafu mtu mmoja watu wanasimama watu wachache hapo, rais anafanya hii, maneno ya abduction, maneno ya nini. Unajua rais pia umenikosea kidogo. Ile siku nyingine ulitangaza waziri, nilikuwa nafikiri unasema Kipchumba Sudi. Kumbe akakuwa Kipchumba Murkomen. Tena juzi nimesikia tena nilikuwa nategea ukasema tena Kipchumba Murkomen. Sasa wangenipatia hiyo docket hiyo ya usalama siku 3 peke yake. Hiyo watoto na ujinga hiyo ya kuchora vitu kwa maneno itaisha. Kwa sababu lazima tu hakuna inji inaongozwa na upuzi. Lazima inji yote inaongozwa na katiba na heshima. Si ni kweli? Yeah. Na mtu asikutisha rais. Unajua mimi nasikia naona ule mtu tulivuguze baada anaongea hapo. Mwingine anasema sijui nini hapo. Mai kuona inji yenye mtu anaenda tamu moja. Hakuna hiyo. Wataruka juu chini. Lakini mambo itakuwa sawa. Ya mwisho kabisa.
So in my view, that is the biggest mistake William Ruto ever did. Staging a war against the Gen Zs. Of course, you can understand why William Ruto decided now, let me go for these boys. He wanted to achieve some objectives. Number one, William Ruto probably wanted to establish a link between the young people and the political class. Because, you know, in Kenya, we are used to fighting political wars physically. But now, these guys were using technology. Raila anachorwa kwa coffin, Ruto the same. You know, you do certain things, you allow vaccines to come, they draw you. People were just communicating with that. So maybe they wanted to establish a link between these people and particular politicians. In fact, the truth is there has always been this attempt to link the Gen Zs to Rigathi Gachagua. So maybe that's what they wanted. And that's why all of them who were picked, their phones were taken away from them. So that's number one. Number two, it's also, in my view, strategy to try and intimidate and instill fear in the Gen Zs. Because after the protest, after the anti-finance bill, where they invaded parliament, there was the feeling that, you know, these guys, we are going to deal with them, starting reaching out to them. Some of them were being harassed. Some of them were being, you know, people like Kasmuel starting to work with the government, you know, people like Morara being compromised along the way without even knowing, by planting government operatives in their camps. So that did not work much because, you know, we are talking of a new generation of Kenyans who are educated. So they are trying to instill fear so that you arrest. Kibet posts this, you arrest him. Someone does this, you arrest him. So the rest will live in fear that if you do this, we are going to be arrested. Maybe they will succeed in that. And I also strongly believe that they wanted to understand the motivation behind the youth activities. Why are these youths passionately opposed to William Ruto? Why are they doing all these things? What is the benefit? So they want to establish the motive, and of course, it's also a strategy of sending a warning to the rest that ukicheza, this government will not spare you. In fact, if you listen to Kamket over the weekend and you listen to Oscar Sudi, someone like Waluke, you know, this kind of strategy by the political class to try and send a warning to the rest of the country who are opposed to Ruto. But the truth of the matter is that if there's one thing which will send William Ruto home, then it is these abductions. The abductions of Willie, Kibet Bull, Peter Muteti, Bob Njagi, Bernard Kavuli, Ronnie Kiplagat, and the rest. I'm told 4 are still missing. They will send William Ruto home. Let me explain to you guys how and why they are going to send William Ruto home in 2027. Number one, through this arrest, William Ruto has now exposed himself as a vengeful leader. For a very long time, Kenyans believed that William Ruto was very vengeful. But during the campaigns, William Ruto appeared as if he was the candidate of the hustlers. He appeared weak, and because of that, so many Kenyans saw someone they would relate with. William Ruto even became the voice of the voiceless. He would intervene whenever anybody was arrested, things like those. But now, after this arrest, because some of them are not justified, why was Kibet Bull arrested? You can talk of Billy Mwangi for sharing that photo, but again, what is in that photo? These are things, if the government had just kept quiet, a week later, probably they would have disappeared, because there was nothing nudity about it. There was nothing dirty about those videos. I mean, those clips, just someone being creative, you know. So it has exposed Ruto. Kenyans would not want to have a vengeful leader, because the question they'll be asking themselves, if this guy is operating like this and is still seeking for re-election, which means he still wants our vote, what will happen if he will not need our votes in 2027? Votes. Number two, it has also made the reformists to unite. You know, the country was not really united. In fact, after William Ruto bringing all opposition leaders, Raila, Uhuru, to his government, there was nothing which was uniting the opposition. But now, these abductions has managed to unite the country to an extent that they were even organizing, before the release, and the pressure was there, demonstrations call for demonstrations on high gear. They had actually organized successful demonstrations previously in Embu, and the entire country was waiting. Then they were released. So it means it has provided an opportunity to unite forces against William Ruto. And number 4, I think the agencies are also telling Ruto that we are ready for you. We are ready. You can arrest this, but they are ready. You go to clubs today in this country, there's a chance that a song will be played and the crowd will go wild, saying Ruto must go. Who would have imagined that would be happening today? It's because William Ruto was misadvised and started a war with the agencies. I doubt if he'll finish that war. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.